All right, so are you ready for this? Lionel Messi.
Back in a Barcelona jersey.
Yeah, it sounds impossible, right?
It seems like it.
But the rumors are out there.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive deep into all these news articles and biographical excerpts
Okay.
to try to figure out, is this just a crazy dream or could this actually happen? I mean, you know how much you love football.
It's an amazing story.
So buckle up. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is a fascinating case. It really is.
Yeah.
Almost like we have this mystery that we need to unravel.
Okay.
There's the emotional pull of him like coming back home, but then there's this massive puzzle. Like, how could Barcelona even afford this? And then, of course, the big question, can he still deliver at 37? I mean...
Okay, so for anyone who might not be like totally up to speed on their Messi history,
Yeah.
let's start with the basics. So the biographical stuff kind of paints this picture of his journey.
It's incredible when you think about it. This kid from Argentina,
Right.
facing health issues as a child,
Yeah.
joins Barcelona's legendary youth academy, La Masia, at just 13.
13.
That's like stepping into a footballing pressure cooker, and he thrives.
He doesn't just thrive, he explodes.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know the trophies for Ballond'Or. They had an insane year in 2009 when they won everything.
Right.
But what makes him so special? Why do people consider him the GOAT, greatest of all time?
It goes beyond just the stats. I mean, Messi's playing style, it's almost otherworldly.
Really?
This incredible mix of speed, agility, vision. I mean, he sees passes nobody else can. He dribbles through defenses like they're not even there.
It's like magic.
It's mesmerizing to watch.
And for Barcelona fans, he became more than just a player, right?
Yeah.
He was like the symbol of their club,
Yeah.
the embodiment of their style, their philosophy. And from the biographical stuff, you can tell he felt that connection too.
Oh, absolutely.
Barcelona was home.
Yeah, which makes what happened in 2021 even more shocking.
Right.
So Barcelona, facing this massive financial crisis, was forced to let him go. Can you imagine?
The club that you've given everything to,
Yeah.
where you've become a legend,
Right.
they can't afford you.
And the news articles about his departure, they're just heartbreaking.
They are. It's just like,
The tears, the farewell speeches.
yeah, it was like a city mourning
Yeah.
a hero.
It really was. And then he goes to PSG,
Yeah.
a powerhouse team, right?
Yeah.
But something is missing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on paper, it's a perfect fit. Champions League opportunities, a star-studded squad, but
Right.
the magic isn't quite there. His performance is good, but it's not Messi, you know?
It's like he needs that emotional connection to really ignite.
Can't wait. Yeah.
And then in a move that surprised like everyone, he signs with Inter Miami last year.
Yeah.
Suddenly, like, the MLS is the center of the football universe.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, okay.
While Messi's over in Miami, making waves,
Yeah.
Barcelona is building their new stadium, the new Camp Nou, this like state-of-the-art marvel,
Right.
designed to usher in a new era for the club.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this quote from Messi that gets every Barcelona fan like buzzing. He says, and I'm quoting here, "I can't leave football without playing at the new Camp Nou."
Almost like he's leaving the door open, right?
Yeah.
But how is this even possible?
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona's drowning in debt. They're struggling to comply with La Liga's financial rules.
And for those who don't know, these financial fair play regulations,
Yes.
they're designed to prevent clubs from spending recklessly.
Right, and they have a very tight grip on Barcelona on
Yeah.
their purse strings.
So if they can't even register new players
Right.
without jumping through all these hoops,
Yeah.
how could they possibly afford someone like Messi? We're talking global icon, a market value of 20 million?
It's a lot of money.
It's like trying to buy a Ferrari on a bicycle budget.
It does seem like a long shot.
Yeah.
Some sources are saying this whole thing might just be like a build-up to a friendly match.
A symbolic return for Messi to kind of grace the new Camp Nou.
But that wouldn't explain, like, his comment about not leaving football without playing there,
Right.
a friendly is nice and all, but it's not the same as being back on the team, right?
No,
Competing for titles.
not at all.
Plus, his contract with Inter Miami runs till the end of this year.
Yeah.
Could Barcelona even afford to wait until 2026 when he's a free agent? I mean, they might miss their chance completely.
There's definitely a sense of urgency.
Right.
If Barcelona wants to make this happen, they need to figure it out, and fast.
But even if they can pull off some, like, financial miracle, there's another major factor we got to consider,
Oh, yeah.
age.
Messi's age.
He's 37, which, I mean, in football years, you're starting to push it a little bit,
Yeah.
especially at that high level. So the question is, can he still deliver the magic that made him a legend in a demanding league like La Liga? I mean, are we setting ourselves up for disappointment? Or is this a fairy tale comeback waiting to happen?
Yeah, it's a good question. To answer that, we need to dig a little bit deeper into what Messi's been doing in Miami.
Right.
I mean, is his MLS performance a true reflection of his current abilities, or is there more to the story? This is where the mystery really deepens, and we're going to have to examine the clues carefully.
All right, well, let's do it. Okay, so we've established that Barcelona's finances are about as stable as like a Jenga tower after a few rounds.
Yeah.
But some people are saying that Messi's MLS stint might actually be a good thing for Barcelona.
It's a curious argument, isn't it?
It is.
It's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from Barcelona's perspective, there might be a silver lining here.
So I was reading about how Messi's arrival in Miami was like this shot of adrenaline to the league.
Oh, yeah.
Attendance is up.
Oh, wait.
Jersey sales are through the roof.
Absolutely.
Even people who like never watched soccer before are tuning in.
I know. It's amazing.
You see him play.
It's incredible the global attention he brings.
Yeah.
And the marketing power. That's unprecedented.
So some analysts are saying this could actually work in Barcelona's favor.
Yeah.
How so? I mean, wouldn't a successful stint in Miami just increase his market value even more?
Oh, yeah, true.
But make him even more expensive.
There's a bigger picture here.
Okay.
Barcelona isn't just a football club.
Right.
It's a global brand.
Yeah.
And Messi's association with them, even while he's in Miami, has kept that brand visible, relevant, desirable.
So are you saying that, like, his presence in the MLS is indirectly boosting Barcelona's brand value?
Yeah.
Which could lead to, like,
Attracting sponsors, investors.
all the things they need to help climb out of this financial hole.
Precisely. It's like a long-term strategy.
It's a gamble.
It is a gamble.
But one that could pay off.
It could pay off big.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic here.
Yeah.
It's like they're betting on Messi's global star power
Yeah.
to kind of indirectly boost their own financial prospects. Kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly. And while he's doing that, they have time to restructure, negotiate better deals.
Right.
And maybe, just maybe, create a situation where they can afford to bring him back.
Without going totally bankrupt.
Exactly, without breaking the bank.
But even if they manage to, like, pull off this financial Houdini act,
Right.
we still have the age factor to consider. Right.
Yeah.
He's 37. He's been playing against, like, a totally different level of competition in the MLS.
Yeah.
Some critics are saying that his performance there isn't really indicative of how he'd fare in a more intense league like La Liga.
Right. I mean, the MLS, while improving, it's not quite at the same level as the top European leagues.
Right.
The pace is different, the tactical approaches are different, and the
Yeah.
physicality is
Right.
definitely a step up in La Liga.
So how do we, like, reconcile his MLS performance with whether he can still cut it at the highest level?
Yeah.
The sources kind of paint a mixed picture.
Yeah, they do. On the one hand, you have pundits who point to his age and they say he's lost a step. They argue he wouldn't be able to handle that week in, week out grind of a season in La Liga.
Especially against, like,
Younger, faster opponents.
these, like, young guys who are hungry.
Exactly.
But then you have others who are saying, come on, this is Messi we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they point to, like, his incredible goal-scoring record in Miami, his ability to create chances out of nothing, and his influence on the team's overall performance.
Right. It's almost like a battle between the eye test and the stats.
Yeah.
The eye test might say he's not as quick as he used to be, but the stats still show a player who can produce those moments of brilliance.
And let's not forget the mental side of it all, too, right? I mean, Messi thrives on challenges.
Absolutely.
I mean, moving to a new league, adapting to a new environment, proving the doubters wrong.
Yeah.
Those are the things that motivate him.
Absolutely. If anyone can defy the odds, it's Lionel Messi.
This is a guy who's broken records, defied expectations, and made the impossible look routine.
Throughout his entire career.
So we shouldn't write him off just yet.
I don't think so.
Even if he's not the same Messi who dominated La Liga 10 years ago,
Right.
he might still have enough left to,
Make a significant impact.
yeah, to really leave his mark.
Yeah, that's the million-euro question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it's one that only time will tell. But what I find particularly interesting is
What's that?
the sources are suggesting that Messi's potential return to Barcelona wouldn't just be about, nostalgia or sentimentality.
What do you mean?
Well, think about the current Barcelona squad.
Okay.
They have some incredibly talented young players like Pedri and Gavi,
Right?
but they lack that veteran leadership, that game-changing experience that someone like Messi brings.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be about adding another goal scorer.
Yeah, you're right.
It'd be about adding that winning mentality.
Yeah.
The tactical intelligence and like that aura of invincibility that he just has.
Precisely. I mean, imagine the impact he could have on these young players, not just on the pitch, but in training, in the locker room, in those moments when the pressure is on.
He could be like the missing piece of the puzzle.
Exactly.
The catalyst that helps them reach their full potential.
It's a fascinating angle.
Yeah, we're not just talking about a sentimental return.
No.
We're talking about a strategic move that could have a ripple effect on the entire team's development and performance.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the tactical dimension.
Oh, right.
How would Messi fit into Barcelona's current system? Would the manager build the team around him, or would he need to adapt his game to fit their style?
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, let's dive into that.
Okay.
Tactically speaking, what kind of impact could Messi have on this Barcelona squad, and how would his presence change the dynamics of the team, both on and off the pitch?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting because we're talking about blending the past and the present.
Yeah.
You have this, iconic figure who represents the golden age of Barcelona. And then you have this new generation of players who are trying to forge their own path.
It's like trying to combine a vintage masterpiece with a modern art installation.
Exactly.
You got to find a way to make them complement each other.
Yeah, without clashing.
Without clashing. And that's the challenge for the manager, Xavi.
Yeah, big challenge.
He needs to figure out how to get the most out of Messi.
Yeah.
While also making sure these young players don't feel overshadowed.
Right, or stifled.
So what are like some of the tactical options here? I mean, would Messi just slot right back into his role as a right winger, cutting inside and just, wreaking havoc? Or would he play more centrally, like dictating the tempo?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But based on his recent performances in Miami, it seems like he's transitioning into more of a playmaking role.
Okay.
He's dropping deeper, picking up the ball in midfield, spraying these passes with pinpoint accuracy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He might not have that, explosive speed that he had before, but his vision, his passing, his tactical awareness are still world-class.
Oh, absolutely. And just imagine the possibilities.
Yeah.
Messi dictating the play from deep, feeding these balls to Pedri, Gavi, Lewandowski.
It would be a tactical masterclass.
It would.
Blending youthful exuberance with veteran savvy.
Exactly.
But it's not just about offense, though, right?
Yeah.
How would Messi being there affect their defensive structure?
Yeah.
I mean, would he be expected to track back, contribute defensively, or would he have more of a free role?
Well, that's a key question,
Yeah.
and it probably depends on the overall tactical approach.
Yeah.
If they want to press high and win the ball back quickly, Messi might need to adapt his game a little bit and be more involved defensively.
But if they're playing more possession-based, sitting deeper, waiting for those counterattacking opportunities,
right.
then maybe he could have more freedom.
Yeah, more freedom to roam and focus on creating chances.
Exactly. It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, find that balance.
Where they can get the most out of his creativity and attacking powers without, weakening their defense.
Exactly. That's the challenge.
And then there's that, mental side of it again.
Psychological impact.
Having Messi back, I mean, he's not just a player, he's a leader, a symbol.
A legend.
His presence alone could elevate the whole team.
Absolutely. Imagine the boost it would give these younger players to learn from and play alongside their childhood idol.
Yeah.
It would be an incredible experience.
But let's be real, there's some potential downsides too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Messi's arrival could create tension.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if some players feel threatened.
Threatened or overshadowed.
Yeah, by his presence.
Yeah. Managing egos, balancing playing time, maintaining that team harmony would be huge.
Yeah.
For the manager.
So it's not just about fitting him into the system.
No.
It's about fitting him into the team.
Yeah, into the fabric of the team.
It's almost like trying to introduce a lion.
Into a pride of young cubs. You got to do it carefully.
Very carefully.
Strategically.
And sensitively.
And don't forget about the media circus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The pressure, the scrutiny, the constant attention.
We'd be overwhelming.
It would be like inviting a hurricane of hype and expectation right into that locker room.
Yeah, exactly.
Managing all that external noise would be just as important as managing
like the internal team dynamics.
It's a high-stakes gamble.
It really is.
But the potential rewards are immense.
Yeah.
I mean, if Barcelona can pull this off,
Yeah.
they could be on the verge of a new era
Yeah.
of dominance, one that blends their past
Right.
with the promise of their future.
So we've explored the financial hurdles, the age factor, the tactical considerations, the psychological impact. It's a lot.
It's a complex web
Yeah.
of interconnected factors.
Yeah, and it's all kind of centered around Messi.
Yeah.
You know, this enigmatic figure who holds the key to this whole saga.
Absolutely.
But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't really talked about.
What about Messi's perspective? I mean, what does he want at this stage of his career? Is it a fairy tale return to his beloved Barcelona? Like a final chance to add to his legacy? Or is there something else driving him? Something deeper, something more personal?
Interesting question.
You know, it's easy to get lost in all the what ifs, the money, the tactics.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is Lionel Messi,
Right.
a guy who's accomplished everything in football.
He really has.
So what's left to motivate him?
Well, that's where the biographical stuff is so interesting.
Yeah.
It gives us this glimpse into Messi, the man.
Beyond the trophies and the goals and the fame.
Exactly.
And what emerges is this picture of someone who is rooted in family, loyalty, belonging.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the book talks about how his family, they've always been his anchor.
Yeah, that close-knit unit.
They moved with him to Barcelona when he was just a kid.
Right.
They were there for all of it. You know,
The ups and downs.
the good times, the bad times. You can tell they're a huge part of his decision-making process.
Yeah. Yeah. And leaving Barcelona wasn't just about switching teams. It was like uprooting his entire life, his family's life.
Maybe that's the key to understanding all of this,
It could be.
this potential return. It's not just about the game, the stadium, the money.
Right.
It's about coming home,
Yeah.
reconnecting with a part of himself that he had to leave behind.
It's a powerful narrative.
It is.
The prodigal son returns not just to play, but to heal,
Yeah.
to feel whole again.
And you can see how much that resonates with the fans, too. I mean,
Absolutely.
they never really got over him leaving.
It's like a wound that never fully closed.
Yeah, it's like this collective dream come true, the idea of him coming back.
Right. But dreams can be fragile.
They can.
And this one hinges on so many things.
Yeah.
Not just the money and the logistics, but Messi's own ambition, too.
Right? He's a competitor. He wants to win. He wants to play at the highest level, challenge himself.
Exactly.
And even though he's been doing well in Miami,
Yeah.
I mean, the MLS, it's not the Champions League.
It's not.
So going back to Barcelona
Yeah.
with those expectations, the pressure of La Liga,
Yeah. Would that reignite that fire?
I mean, is that what he's looking for?
Yeah. Is he looking for like a comfortable end to his career? You know, a victory lap in a familiar place? Or is there still that desire to prove himself all over again?
Yeah, to show the world that at 37, Lionel Messi can still dominate the game.
That's the question.
And what about his legacy? I mean, we talked about how this return could really cement his status as a Barcelona icon.
Yeah.
But what if it doesn't work out?
Yeah. What if he struggles?
What if he can't keep up?
What if he can't live up to those expectations?
It's a big risk, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it could tarnish his image.
Potentially.
But maybe he's not afraid of that.
Maybe.
Maybe he's
yeah.
willing to put it all on the line for that last shot at glory.
Even if it means facing the possibility of failure.
That's what makes this whole thing so compelling.
It really does.
It's not just a transfer. It's not just a business deal.
It's so much more.
We're talking about ambition, emotions, legacy.
This story goes way beyond the sport itself.
And it reminds us that even in this world of,
Data,
algorithms,
spreadsheets, there's still room for the unpredictable,
the unexplainable.
the human element.
So we wrap up this deep dive
Yeah.
with more questions than answers.
That's right.
Will he return? Can he recapture the magic? What will it mean for Barcelona? I mean, for the future of football.
I don't know. We don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
But we have the insights from these amazing sources.
And that's what makes this so great.
It really does.
And that's what we want you to do now.
Okay.
Check out the sources we've been talking about
Yeah, form your own opinions.
and let us know what you think.
Share your thoughts.
What does this potential return mean for Messi's legacy? Is this the fairy tale ending? Is it a huge risk? Or is this something else entirely? This story is far from over, and we're all excited to see how it plays out. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
See you next time.
And until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep the conversation going.